Hey everyone. So, hi everyone. Welcome again to another live Q&A with VA Claims Veterans Helping Veterans. Hopefully, people who are trying to get on the Facebook are over here because once again, it's not working.
I
It
say it
worked.
worked yesterday. I mean, it doesn't want to work on Wednesdays, I guess.
at least, at least we've got the YouTube. That's the main important one. At the Facebook, in my opinion, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. But you've got me, Stephanie, Steph. We've got Jackie back. We've got Blake. Much appreciated you guys joining. We've got Chris running the helm for us. And yeah, so we're here to answer your questions that you have. We typically try to do like an hour, but sometimes it can go a little bit over, and that's fine as long as we have the questions. We appreciate everybody coming on. We appreciate people that donate to support the channel. And with that, let me read the quick legalities and then we'll get into it. All right. So, Veterans Helping Veterans is not accredited agent, VSO, attorney, or entity recognized by the Department of Veterans Affairs and is not affiliated with the VA in any way. We do not assist veterans with the preparation, presentation, and prosecution of VA disability claims for VA benefits. This Q&A is solely for guidance and purposes and should not be considered medical or legal advice. All right. So with that, I think you guys have anything you want to share, say? No? Just
Good.
Jackie's got resting bitch face.
The,
I
the,
can just see,
I'm
like
rooting
she's just
for
like,
her.
the food hasn't kicked in yet.
no. Like her food, I
Her
don't know.
food
I think
hasn't
she's
kicked in
hangry,
yet.
guys.
Just a minute.
Okay, I'll smile. I'll smile. See?
Every little bit. Blake looks like he's lost in La La Land. He's like, hey guys.
No, I was sending a recipe to somebody.
That's okay. Unfortunately, let me just make this note too. Our wonderful Ashley, she is not feeling good tonight, so she is going to not be joining us tonight, but that's okay. I'll ask the questions and we'll go from there. So like Chris said, please start dropping your questions in there. We'll start answering them. If there is something we cannot answer or it's going to take longer, guys, then we'll ask you to email us and we'll try to take a look better through the email, because a lot of times we can't answer a lot of things in depth through these Q&As. So it can be pretty hard. But if you send us emails redacting your personal information, of course, please make sure you do that. The team, myself and the team, we can try and answer a little bit more through that way, because sometimes that can help us understand something by seeing a decision. So I guess with that being said, Chris, do we have some questions for us? And we'll go ahead. Okay, so this is from Shemp Howard. Good day. On my exit medical exam, the MD noted anxiety issues. Now, years later, I have a CMP for anxiety. What should I expect? Thanks. Okay, well, I feel like there's some information missing here. Are you currently service connected for mental health, and you filed an increase for your mental health, Shimp? But as far as what to expect, since you're going to a CMP exam, I mean, if it's, I guess I'm going to go as a layman's person, then Jackie or Blake, feel free to join in. If it's your initial claim for mental health, which I don't think it is, but if it is, it could be a little bit more lengthy. They'll go into a little bit more information, such as your childhood, your military, and then your current situation. If it's an increase, they'll typically talk to you about what's gotten worse since you were rated, and they'll discuss that information with you. Does that sound about right,
Yeah.
Jackie, Blake?
Yeah.
I actually took it differently.
Okay.
The way he said it, I'm taking it as he had anxiety noted on his exit exam, but I don't think he's service connected. So you have a CMP exam for anxiety. So based on what you said, you had symptoms of anxiety, but not a diagnosis of anxiety. So, like Stephanie said, for initial service connection, the exam is going to be a little more in depth and whatnot. I mean, it's just going to be another exam. They're going to take a
I guess
history.
my question, you made a good point, Jackie. If it was noted on his exit physical, but he's not service connected, and now years later, he's obviously filed a new claim, because we're kind of speculating right now. Oh, he does say in the notes, Jackie, that he says it will be my first ever exam. So he
Okay.
had it noted upon exit. Sounds like he's now filing. So if he had that in service and he has that current, is it possible he can get rated for the mental health?
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
But that looked like anxiety, symptoms of anxiety. And sometimes, we have, like, we can have no mental health diagnosis and we can still have periods in our life where we have mental health symptoms. But, it doesn't meet the chronicity of meeting like the DSM-5 criteria, which is what the VA uses to evaluate mental health conditions. So, it's really speculative without looking at your medical
Right.
records, knowing your history. Just go
Right.
to your exam and answer your questions, and
So, yeah.
just wait for
So
an answer.
basically, Shemp, you're going to go through an initial exam, and kind of like what I thought, your initial exam, you're going to most likely talk about your childhood. They're going to talk about your military experience, and they're going to talk about your adulthood and go through the entire exam that way. So hopefully, it will go well. Don't, my opinion is, be open, honest, truthful. Don't hold anything back, including emotions, and just get through the exam to the best of your ability. And hopefully everything will go well. Okay, next question. Hey, Peggy. Nice to see you. So calling Vera, help find out what's going on with my back pay audit. DFAS shows they haven't done an audit for several years. Back pay
No,
audit.
that's DOD. Wrong department. Those audits are done by DOD, and they send the results to VA. Colin Barrow will do nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, because the DFAS is for DOD purposes. So, and Vera, like you said, does not have anything to do with it. So, unfortunately, the answer is no. Peggy, calling Vera won't help on that end. But I'm wondering, is there a number for her to call DFAS? Because I'm sure there is.
There's a 1-800 number. You literally just Google DFAS 1-800 and it will pull it up.
Let me see if I can see it. So the number, I don't know if, oh no, Chris, if you want to go ahead and type this in there instead of, I'll show it. The number is 888-332-7411.
What's that for?
DFAS, DFAS. She said she called DAF. Well, if you call them, then they're the ones that really should be answering the question regarding an audit. But I don't understand what an audit would be doing with the back pay unless she was retiring, obviously. And
Retiring, but it also matters when they do like CRSC and whatnot. Audit could be needed.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully that helps, Peggy. Sorry, unfortunately, calling Vera is not gonna help. So, all right. Next question.
This is really annoying.
It's all right. Go to the left. Just go to the left and I'll read it.
Yeah, it's all wonky.
Okay, there you go.
It's too big, Chris.
That's fine. I can see that, Chris. It's fine. So this is from Peter. Hey, Peter, thanks for joining. Hi, guys. I concerned about community care. I don't know what that means. I concerned?
I
It's
am.
like a school choice program through the
I'm
VA.
concerned about community care. They have sent me there several times. The question went away.
He's concerned because he only spends 6 to 8 minutes with a doctor, and he knows that they're charging the VA a lot of money.
Okay.
You can post a complaint with the VHA. You can go to the patient advocate, or you can actually, a lot of the director's offices will take solicitation from patients. A lot of them will have like a box outside the director's office where you can drop things, or whoever refers you to community care, you can complain to your PCP and they can start that process. But
I
as far as VBA goes, this is not under like benefits. This is all under the hospital.
VHA.
Don't forget
Well, and as
VBA.
far as VHA goes with community care, I'm going to kind of debunk that a little bit because I know that they pay pennies on the dollar. So it's I wouldn't be sitting there thinking like they're getting paid a lot of money because you're just there for 3 to 8 minutes. If you think your care is not good right now, Peter, with whoever you're seeing out in the community, then it is best to obviously go back to the doctor that referred you out into the community. Call community care. It's on your referral number. File a complaint with community care regarding this, and or go to patient advocacy. I can tell you by going to patient advocacy, they're going to go right back to community care. So your best bet is to call community care and file a complaint if you're not happy with this doctor and what's going on with your medical care.
There's
I can
also
speak to that a little bit too.
I was going to say there's also nurses that are assigned for each type of care. Like they'll have a couple nurses for GI, a couple nurses for like primary care and stuff. And they, on the community care referral, their number should be there in their name. So you should be able to reach out to those nurses to voice your concerns as well.
Yeah, look at your
I'll give you an idea of how much they reimburse. Is if a physician bills out $100, Blue Cross and Blue Shield's best policy pays about 78 cents on the dollar, about $78 for $100 bill. VA pays about 40.
what is going on? So
So
it's
they're
pennies on the
not,
dollars.
and the billing code for that for an 8-minute face to face 50% of the time, that's a 20-minute visit that they're billing out because that's 50% of the time is face to face with the patient.
Well, as a veteran, we don't have any idea. So like we've all said, if the care is not adequate, Peter,
Right.
go to community care and start there and go from there. Okay, next question.
All right, this is a two-parter from Daniel.
All right. Hey, Stephanie and team, you might or might not remember one of my ratings is for abductor spasmodic dysphonia with tremor. I believe my rating for this is 30%. I'm considering submitting a.
This would be a cranial nerve issue.
Hold on. Can I get the whole question? Is this the rest of it?
Right.
Secondary claim to this vocal cord dysfunction and possibly vocal cord disability, which I do have. Any thoughts on this? I do remember Daniel talking about this a long time ago. Does this jog anybody's memory?
Yeah,
About
I think this all falls under cranial nerve. What? 5,
So
4, 6.
It really depends what the predominant like disability is. So you're absolutely right, Blake. It would be under cranial nerves, but if he has a 30% evaluation, I don't think they rated him under the cranial nerves unless they made a mistake because almost always cranial nerves are rated bilaterally. So they may have evaluated him under like 6516 or 6519 to if the vocal cord impairment was the predominant disability, that may give that higher evaluation to the veteran. But I mean, that's such a not common diagnosis. It would be really hard to determine how they evaluated it without seeing your decision letter or code sheet.
Well,
so
if it was a stroke situation, they would code it unilaterally, but in his case, it may very well be a bilateral issue.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they rated it under the cranial nerves, those would be bilateral. But if he has a 30% evaluation, they may have went with the predominant disability, which would have resulted in a higher evaluation. That's why I'm saying they may have done it under 6516 or 6519. Again, seeing the decision letter would, give a lot of insight on how they evaluated it and if it could even be evaluated higher.
well, and I remember we talked about this. And Daniel, if if you want, you can go ahead and email us any of the information, redacting your personal information, and send us some information through email. And if you want, you can go ahead and email us at VACVHV@gmail.com. And then what I can do is I can forward it over to Blake and Jackie, and we can get you a better answer on this, because this is definitely not my cup of tea. This is out of my forte. So maybe we can get you a little bit more help that way. All right, next question.
All right, looks like we have another two-parter from Dennis.
Okay. Hello, I have a two-part. I have a supplemental claim for TDIU pending, and I would love to know if I have to leave my last job because of my disability to be considered for TDIU. My second question is, can my union fill out the form 214192 if my employer is taking too long? My account is flagged for hardship, so how long would it take for the union to fill out the information for me? So from what I'm understanding is he's stating that he's still currently employed.
No.
He says, I would love to know, did I have to leave my last job because of my disability?
You have to be unable to work because of your disability. Doesn't have to be the
Substantially.
reason. Yeah, it does not have to be the reason you left, but just because you can't work.
You have
Your
to be
disability.
unable to substantially gain full employment in
Oh,
order to qualify for TDIU based on a service-connected disability.
so he
So
says he's unemployed. So,
that's what I thought he said.
Yeah.
so the 4192 is not actually required for
It's not.
adjudication of an IU claim. So it's either they send it back or they don't. If they don't send it back, then within the allotted time frame, VA is just going to move along. But they have to at least develop for it. So they'll do 2 requests, and if they don't send it back, they'll just move on with the claim. So they should have been doing concurrent development with everything else. But I don't think it would be necessary because you're not. I mean, with the union, you kind like it. It's not really your employer, so it really. I don't think it would really be super beneficial for your non-employer to fill it out. I understand that they have to do with your employment. If they
let the
send it back,
claim
they
go.
send it back. If not, they're just going to roll on with your claim. So,
Right. And again, TDIU is based on your service-connected disability that's preventing you from working. I'm also assuming that you've met all the other requirements that are required for TDIU to file regarding the rating and the parameters. I know there's extra schedule, but at the same time, I am assuming that. And like Jackie said, don't focus on getting that form filled out by your employer, because at the end of the day, the VBA still attempts to do it on your behalf as well under the duty to assist. So I personally wouldn't worry about having the union fill it out. I just and it's already flagged for hardship. So it sounds like, they're taking that due process as well. So, okay, next question. Andy Garcia. Hello. Have a claim in process secondary to cyanitis. CMP exam is completed and now the waiting game. Will my claim be delayed if I file another claim while the first claim is still pending? Now Jackie and I are usually, we don't agree to this, but I'll say mine and she'll say hers as always. I always say at this point, if you already had your CMP exam and you've already had this claim processing for a while, I would just submit the ITF and let that pending claim that you want to file on hold until this claim is finalized, because it seems like you're already far into this claim processing. And the ITF, if you put it in place, it gives you up to a year to file the claim anyways, with the ITF as the effective date. So in my opinion, with this situation, and you've already had the CMP for this secondary claim, I'd wait. But Jackie always says, file.
yeah, unless you have like 6 or 7 claims going, I say always file, because it depends on how you file your claims too. like if you're appealing something and then you put just a normal supplemental claim or a new claim for disability, they're not even being decided by the same departments. There's no overlap. They're not going to hold it up at all. And you know, VA's taken, I mean, they're not as bad as they used to be, but they are taking some time to file claims, and tomorrow's never guaranteed. So don't you want to get your crap rated faster and get, you know, the money in your pocket when you need it like sooner? So unless you have like 6 or 7 claims going, in that case, sometimes the e-folders can get a little intense because there's a lot of different things going on at once. But having like 1 or 2 3, even 4 different claims, especially if they're being decided by different departments, is nothing. It's normal. I mean, honestly, tons of people have multiple claims, and you know, it doesn't hold it up.
Right.
There's very few exceptions where a claim will hold up another claim, and it's only in like special circumstances. So like they're doing like NEMR consideration, or if it's intricately intertwined with another issue or whatnot. So like they can't make a decision on a claim until the first claim's decided. But that's pretty uncommon. It's pretty rare. So file it. But that's my opinion.
See, we have different opinions.
I
It's
don't have
okay.
an opinion.
Huh?
I don't have an opinion.
You don't have one? You should. We all have them. I just want to shout out to Greg. I just want to do a shout out to Greg. Thanks, Greg, for joining. We appreciate it. As he says, click the subscribe and the bell and notifications. And like I said, we're here for you guys to answer your questions that you have. And we do it to the best of our ability. And like I said, I'm just a veteran, but yet I've done a lot of my own education for myself and learning. Blake himself, he's a retired doctor. He's also a veteran. And Jackie, we have wonderful Jackie with all her knowledge locked up in her brain.
We just got to feed her first.
We just have to feed her first. So we do appreciate the support to the channel anytime we get it. So it's awesome. We appreciate it.
Yeah, again, guys, sorry for whatever reason, Facebook on Wednesdays doesn't seem to want to work, but we've got 27 people on right now, so that's great.
Yeah.
Apologize. Like I said, we're still doing the best we can here.
Well, this is YouTube. That's a platform. So, you know, people want to come ask a question, just come on over to the YouTube because we're live right now. Okay, next question. So Junior says, I just recently got 100% PNT. Thank you for all the help. My question is, will they pay for both my kids' college or just one? So Junior, when you were granted 100% PNT, you, in your decision, it states the DEA Chapter 35 benefits are eligible to your dependents. That's a stipend. That is something that is given to the dependent monthly to go to college. Your children and your spouse actually qualify for this stipend. I actually have a great saved post in our Facebook group for 100% PNT veterans. Within that post has the link on everything to do with the Chapter 35 benefits. Now, keep in mind, when they do, and if they do use Chapter 35 benefits, you must remove your dependents on your VA compensation if they are using Chapter 35 benefits. But both your children are eligible for the stipend. And again, I think it's roughly, I don't know off the top of my head, I think it's like $1,400 a month.
It's like between 14 and 15.
Won't they also pay tuition?
No, Chapter 35 is a stipend that's given strictly to the dependent to use for college.
Hey, you said that they can't get the dependent pay for the compensation if they're receiving DEA. I've never heard that before.
Yep, it's in the regs. Yep. You cannot have your dependent on your VA compensation if they are using Chapter 35 benefits.
There must be a lot of people getting paid wrong then.
It's something that is in there, and it's I mean, I'll show it to you when we're off the air or whatnot. But
I'd love to see it just for my own knowledge. That'd be great. Thank you.
Because a lot of people they do not realize that, and they've been getting it, and then if the VA figures it out, they figure it out. But the answer to your question, Junior, is both your children can use it, your spouse can use it as well. There's not like one kitty for it. Each of them can use it.
Meow.
Kitty meow. All right, what do we got here? It's all right. Take your time, Chris. All right, Marvin. Hey, Marvin. Thanks for coming. I have my first and hopefully last C&P exam tomorrow for sleep apnea at OptumServe. I've already uploaded my sleep study results and insomnia meds for my private doctor. Any suggestions to prepare? Oh, first of all, I don't know. Is the C&P exam a sleep study? Are you doing another?
They may request their own sleep study.
Right. But I don't know, is
won't-
it a C&P exam for the sleep study or just an in-person exam?
VA won't request a sleep study if there's one of record.
Okay. So it must be just like an in-person exam then. So, I mean, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with sleep study exams, but I don't know.
Quick. It's just going to be quick and they're going to evaluate you. That's it. It's going to be, I mean, if you even look at the sleep apnea DBQ, it's short. It's going to be a quick appointment.
Mhm.
They'll probably like take a history and stuff.
I mean, basically, if you have a sleep study, they just got to review the VBA. Obviously, the examiner reviews the sleep study regarding the results. So maybe there's just a few questions about it. I know he mentioned insomnia. Insomnia is part of the mental health side. So I know you might have insomnia, but that's on the mental health side.
But if it's just like insomnia as a symptom, they can attribute it to the sleep apnea, which would fall under sleep apnea. So it doesn't sound like it's insomnia, the diagnosis.
No, it sounds like and I think probably what he's doing, and I'm just speaking out, is probably secondary. The sleep apnea is probably secondary to something. So he's got his own doctor's opinion. He's got his sleep study done and everything. So in my opinion, I think it's probably what it is a secondary, but I could be wrong.
I don't know because they're doing a lot of Terra exams now, so it can be a lot of people are getting that initial primary. It doesn't really matter how he's claiming it. He's going to have the exam tomorrow, so
yeah. But it should be pretty short and simple. That's pretty much the point of it.
All right. I want to go back to Peggy. She posted.
For clarity, I'm retired and I get CRDC. Was increased from 60 to 70 effective July. Payments were withheld for August through December until an audit is complete. I don't know. If she's already over to the 50% threshold, why is she going through an audit?
because it's CRDC.
Okay. So
yeah, unfortunately, that's just something you have to wait for DFAS. DFAS is DOD. They send the results to VA, so VA knows how to pay you correctly, but it's on DOD to process. And unfortunately, I've not had to deal with them myself, but I've heard the customer service leaves a lot to be desired, and they, like everybody else, are behind.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Sean Mason, why is it taken almost a year to get my C file? Wow, that is a long time.
Are you sure you did it correctly? 1, 2. Don't forget, I'm actually not sure the backlog they have, but during COVID, they had to work in a secure area. They weren't allowed to telework or work remotely. So when COVID was happening, so you think over, COVID for 2-3 years for the federal government, right?
Yep.
These people weren't, or very small capacity, were processing these requests. So I think a year sounds like a little bit long right now. So I'm not sure. Maybe you should call up and ask for an update on it and make sure you actually requested it correctly and that they processed the request. That seems a little excessive to me.
I'd actually on this one would do a Vera. I'd do a Vera and find out what's going on with your C file request with the FOIA.
I mean, the call center should be able to see it, but Vera call center. It's all the same crap.
Yep. I mean, either call the 800 number, the 800-827-1000, or do a Vera online. I'm frozen. I don't know whenever somebody's doing a thumbs up, I freeze. So,
You didn't look frozen to me.
oh, I look frozen on my end. Okay. So, anyways, just either call the 800 number or do a Vera virtual and ask about your FOIA request. Because I personally think that a year is a little too long at this game, but you know, we could see. All right, next question. Jerry. Hey, welcome, Jerry. It's Jerry Bennett. 1 p.m. exam for foot and ankle pain. All right, this is just a veteran that Chris and I know here in Florida. He's got his CMP exam. It's been remanded back. So good luck on the exam. Let me know how it goes. I know it's tomorrow. Keep me updated. I know you will. But just remember the ROM, the flex, and the extension, and don't push past the pain. So again, keep us updated. I really rooting for you. He has been doing this now for, I think, a long time, like 6 years on his appeals for his feet.
Oh, so he's probably under the legacy, huh?
Yes, he is under the legacy.
Well, the good news is now that a judge has remanded it, it should move pretty fast now because they're really trying to kill that backlog since we've had AMA for almost 5 years now.
Right? But yeah, keep us updated, Jerry. Appreciate it. Okay, next question. Hey, Jeff, welcome back. So question on decision letters. Why would the evidence include remarks not related to that claim? For example, my evidence for tinnitus approval included private treatment records for asthma.
I'll take it because they probably mentioned it somewhere in those records. You'd be surprised. You guys send these records into VA, you'd be surprised what's in them. So, for example, you'll have somebody who sends in a bunch of private treatment records for the back, right? They're not really thinking that in those treatment records, even though they're literally only seeing that doctor for their back, there's a history and there's a problem list and there's all this other stuff. So, as long as they mention tinnitus or something to that effect in those records, they can be used as evidence. In fact, I think that's pretty badass because that means somebody was actually reading your medical records. Totally, then if they caught it in records that you wouldn't ordinarily see it. So I think that's actually really awesome.
Yeah. Nancy. Yes, I'm just doing a shout out here real quick to Nancy Tejas. I received all your emails. I haven't had the opportunity to look at them. I'll try and look tomorrow and get back to you and then talk to the team. This is the lady that came on yesterday, guys, when we were testing about her foot and ankle, and she was asking about her knee and her back and her hips. Remember that?
Yeah.
You are? Yeah, you can. Yeah. So anyway, she's
right as I was leaving.
Yes. So she has sent me a ton of information in email. I'll decipher it, kind of digress it, and then I'll get with you guys and see if there's anything we can forward on to her. She says, can the podiatrist fill out the DBQ for painful scar if they are willing to do so? Yes, absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a spot on the foot DBQ too for them to address the scars.
I think so.
I'm almost positive there is.
I think so too. What about the ankle? Or is it just the foot?
Real quick and check.
Yeah, I think.
Keep talking. I'll let you know when I find.
Yeah, I am. I'm babbling. I think because I'm rated for 3 scars for my ankles, my toes, and my feet.
Most of the musculoskeletal ones have it because there's common. It's common to have surgery, but since I can't remember definitively.
Right. I'm pretty sure, but the answer to your question, Nancy, is yes. Your podiatrist can definitely fill that out regarding the scar and whether it's painful and stable. But anyways, she is the one we talked to yesterday, and so I got a ton of emails from her. So just give me a day, Nancy, to go through them, and we'll try and get back to you on that information as well. Did you find?
Yeah. So it's on there, but it directs them to, so some of them will actually ask the right questions for it to be properly evaluated. But for the ankle, it actually says to complete the appropriate dermatological questionnaire, which means that the scar DBQ would have to be filled out in addition
Okay.
to the ankle DBQ. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And I seem to remember in a couple of my exams for my feet and ankle, when they would go to the scar discussion, they had a different
Yeah,
DBQ.
I mean, some of the DBQs will ask it, but they all at least address because they're
Yeah.
so common, like surgeries. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Okay, well, I'll get back to you, Nancy. I promise.
Okay, Dennis Berry is back with some more questions. He wanted to try and
Okay,
clarify. So he's got a
okay,
couple of things going on here. So
okay. I wanted to ask again clearly. I left my last employer for misconduct 7 months ago, but my disability was a factor into that, but it's preventing me from finding and keeping a job. I was
So
fired from my job for misconduct, but my mental health symptoms contributed to it. Okay. It is the reason for my termination wasn't, if the reason for my termination wasn't because of my disability, will that affect my supplemental claim? No. I mean, we're almost talking a couple different things here. So you getting fired from your job, and Jackie, feel free to jump in too, and Blake, feel free too. I'll just give my own opinion, but getting fired from your job, obviously he's saying the mental health is part of the reasoning, doesn't prohibit you from filing the claim for TDIU, so long as what you're saying, your mental health is preventing you from substantially being gainfully employed. Now, I'm going to take an example. Let's say you're terminated from this, but yet you go on and you can find another job. Okay, so now you're able to be employed. If you're stating that you are unable to find substantial gainful employment because of your mental health, and you can prove that to warrant the TDIU, then it should be granted. Now I'm going to step back. Next.
but if you're saying that you can't find a job because you were terminated for poor behavior, that's going to be questionable. You're going to have a nexus in there somewhere from a physician or somebody stating that the cause of your misconduct was your mental health. In other words, if you get fired, and I'm not saying you did this, but if you get fired for stealing, that's one thing. Getting fired because of frequent outbursts of anger on the job is another. It's
Jackie?
going to be hard to say that your mental health caused you to steal, but it is going to be easy to say your mental health caused the outburst of anger. Correct, Jackie?
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to depend on the evidence and the records and how they tell the story. I guess I'll throw this out there just because, like, people think because they're unemployed and they think because, oh, it's because my service connected disabilities, and you rate IU, and then the veterans get mad, they get denied. But being unemployable and being unemployed are not synonymous for the purposes of determining entitlement to individual unemployability under the provisions of 4.16. So a veteran may be unemployed and even have a history of unemployment from several jobs, but not being capable of substantially gainful employment. Unemployment
So
can be
that
due to economic factors, work performance issues, and other reasons, and not necessarily related to being unable to secure or follow substantially gainful employment due to a service connected disability or disabilities. So that's just, one of the common, blurs VA uses when generally, when denying IU claims. So, there's a lot of factors that go in to determine. It's not just, are you working, and is it because of your service connected disabilities? Like, they're gonna, if you're getting social SSDI, they're gonna pull those records. They're going to go through Capri, go through the VA treatment records. They're going to look through private treatment records, and they're going to determine if it's really your service connected disabilities that keep you from working or if it's something else. So, like, Blake said, if it was like mental health that kept you from working under those circumstances, that could be plausible if you were let go due to performance issues. But if you stole, it's likely you're unemployed because nobody wants to hire. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, nobody wants to hire a thief, or they're reluctant to. So it really just depends. It's hard to
Well,
tell. The evidence tells the
One of the
story.
best things that he could do for himself is during the 7 months, if he's been seeing somebody for mental health, discuss discussing the behaviors that led to your termination and how that affects how your mental health affects that behavior or causes that behavior. If that is documented in your record, then that shows that if you've been unemployed for 7 months because you haven't been able to find a job and you haven't talked to anybody and it hasn't been documented, that's going to be against you, be a
can you
mark
put that
against
back
you.
up, Chris? I did get an independent vocational exam and it was submitted with the supplemental claim. So here's my other thought process to this. Supplemental claim means he's already been denied previously. So he's filed new evidence to
Well, he said he did
support.
that vocational assessment, so they'll review it and see if it's
Right.
consistent with the evidence of record.
So
Sometimes the vocational assessments tell a way different or crazy story different than what's actually in the record. So
right, but what I'm saying, there's a supplemental claim. A supplemental claim means new evidence has presented. So in theory, there's been something previously denied. He says, I submitted my docs for hardship for my appeal that's in the docket status with the BVA, but they said an eviction letter doesn't count towards an appeal claim, but only to new claims. Any way around that?
BVA has their own set of rules.
Yeah.
It's not that, because VA, they'll do it for hardship.
Right.
So eviction for VA, like regular VBA, eviction will work, hardship will work, homeless will work, terminal illness will work, over the age of 85 will work. For BBA,
Right.
over the age of 75. And I'm not even sure how they expedite their hardship claims because that's their determination. So no, unless you meet whatever their criteria is, no.
BVA, like she said, has a different criteria. So the answer to his question is there's pretty much no way around it regarding the hardship with the BVA. But again, in a nutshell, Dennis, now that you've kind of given us more of a full picture, just unfortunately you have to wait. It's like, and again, it's with the BVA, which again, help me wrap my mind around this, because I'm thinking a supplemental claim. Isn't that with the VBA? What does the BVA have to do with this?
So a supplemental claim would be decided at this point with the VA, with the service centers. It's not
Right.
even, they're not even decided by appeals at this point. They're
Right.
decided
What does the
by service.
BVA have to do with this? I'm confused.
I mean,
I'm just asking, are you confused? Is anybody else?
no,
I hear.
well, so if BVA remanded it and it was denied, they could have put in a supplemental claim.
Got
But
it.
then, so
He's saying
they're
it's two different claims.
Okay, so now I'm thoroughly confused. What two
All right.
different claims? What are you
So-
talking about?
Maybe we need to go with an email here. This is not going to get.
Right, because now I'm thoroughly confused, Dennis, because you can't, I thought I was right. He's talking one thing about a BBA and he's talking about a supplemental claim. So let's do this, Dennis. Email us at this email address. I know you're in our Facebook group. You comment a lot. I appreciate it. We're here to support you as best we can. Email me. Let me know what's going on. What two claims are you referring to? What's with BVA? What is supplemental? Redact all your personal information, and let me look it over and get with the team and get back to you on this, because it's a little confusing right now, and I want to help you, but I just want to make sure I'm understanding the whole picture, because like I said, that's where I was thrown off with the supplemental claim and the BVA. So we're happy to help, Dennis. Just email us. Okay.
All right. Let's see
What do we got? Sean Mason, can I file my lower back claim as secondary to my left knee pain? Blake.
Yes, you can. You can file anything you want. What you need is someone that states that your back pain is caused by your improper gait because of your knee issues. So you'll need to talk to either your orthopedic guy or your primary care provider, and all you really have to do is get them to say that in your record. You don't have to have an actual nexus letter, but it's much like your body is much like a house, and your feet are the foundation, and as you come up the walls, when there's a weakness in the walls, it'll cause problems higher up in the building. So now to say your back is causing knee problems, that's a little different. But the knee problem causing the back is very plausible and can easily be tied together. You just need to talk to the right person.
And to be clear, even if your doctor won't put that in your record or whatever else, you don't get a nexus letter. If you specify that you're claiming your back is secondary to your knee, VA will do their duty to assist and request the medical opinion.
Okay. And just some housekeeping here real quick. I wanted to give a shout out. Thank you, Marvin Jenkins. He thanked us for all we do. We appreciate that. Laughing Guy, he comes on a lot. We thank you for the support and everything. He actually said some good news for us as a group, that he drives veterans to appointments when they have CMP exams. He goes over the DBQs and CFR ratings and how to talk to the examiner to get their claim properly evaluated. I guess he's giving his advice to veterans or whatnot, but I just wanted to give you kudos for driving veterans to their exams. That's real nice of you. And he said just last month he helped 5 veterans. Most are completely clueless about the whole process and are extremely happy. So
Sean just replied again he sees a VA chiropractor. Would that work?
Yes.
Yep, that would.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that would work. Oh, by the way, Jackie, I was way off on Jerry, the one that's with the old legacy appeals. 13 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
See him all the time.
Thought,
Not alone. He's not alone, unfortunately, but they
Good.
are. I mean, they put a huge dent in them. They're working them. They have priorities. So
right. But yeah, keep me updated. Appreciate it. Okay, next question, Chris. Chris Daniels, on the topic of 100% PNT, my significant other and I are planning to get married later this year. Currently, my children are listed on my disability, but after we get married, will she be able to get added? Yes. After you're married and I have a great video on my YouTube channel, but you already have your dependents added, so it should be pretty easy. But after you get married, you have your marriage certificate. If she's had any prior marriages, she'll need to provide the divorce dates, etc. You just go on and add her as your dependent after you're legally married. Super easy. And again, if you've forgotten how to do it, I do have a video on my YouTube channel on adding dependents. It's pretty informational. It's pretty easy to do. But again, after you're married, you just go on and add her once you have the marriage license. And again, if either one of you, I think it's either one of you have divorces, you may have to provide both. So next question.
All right. I don't know. I don't have any.
Oh, are we done? Are we done? Hey, I'll take it. Jackie looks like she'll take it. Does anybody else have any questions for us? Because we're only on here as long as we have questions. So if we don't have any questions, then we will be out. But we want to thank everybody for coming on. Jackie, I appreciate it. Blake, I always appreciate it. Unfortunately, we didn't have Ashley tonight. She had a headache, but that's understandable. Had a couple glitches, but I think this one, it worked out a little bit better, Chris.
We might have to switch from Wednesdays to Tuesdays or Thursdays because Facebook just doesn't want to work on Wednesdays.
it's working on the other days and not Wednesday.
It worked yesterday when we did it, and then
Mr. Zuckerberg had to go to Congress today.
Oh, that's what it was. Maybe they shut it down.
Yep.
Hey, hey, Peter.
Peter, oh, thank you so much for the donation. So Peter gave us a $20 donation. I love how it says lemon character, bowing his head while spreading hearts with his arms. So listen, you remember on what I know, but remember when we were on the other platform, what was it?
StreamYard.
StreamYard. At least it would show the little sticker when people donated, and it would.
It's
Now
pretty
we
fun.
just
It's
have
pretty
to
funny
tell.
on the YouTube page.
I don't feel like I'm visualizing what I should be
Come on.
visualizing.
Visualize the lemon character bowing his head while spreading
It's
his.
not.
Yeah,
It's not.
I'm definitely
It's
having
Stewie.
trouble with this one.
It's Stewie from Family Guy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No.
But
Hey,
Peter,
hold on. Chris has a follow-up.
well, hold on. I want to finish. Thank you, Peter, again for the donation. We do appreciate it. It truly is appreciative. Okay, what do we got? Follow up. She has children of college age. Will they be able to be added and use Chapter 35 benefits? Well, yeah, they're going to be your dependents. Are they in college now? I mean, no,
Okay.
you can't. Hold on a second. No. Backtrack. You
Stepchildren
can't
have to
add
be
them if they're going to use Chapter 35.
right.
They can use the benefit, but they can't be added to your VA compensation as your dependents. Oh, Nancy's asking how to make a donation.
The little money symbol at the bottom of the chat.
The little money symbol. So you can put the lemon spreading its arms out with hearts.
There's a little square down there. It has a little money symbol in it, and you can just.
That's a $, Chris.
Oh,
Somebody just text me what the lemon looks like, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. That is not what I was picturing in my mind.
Okay, can I see it? Show it to the.
That's it. Yep, that's it.
That's not what you were thinking, right?
Thanks, Greg.
So yes, if the children are of college age and you get married, then you can have them go ahead apply for the Chapter 35 DEA benefits. You can add your wife. She said she found it. You can add your wife to your dependent pay. And actually, Jackie, I don't know if you knew this too, but he can add his wife, right, as a dependent, but she can also use the Chapter 35 benefits. It's the children that can. Huh?
Why wouldn't she be able to? They got married. If they get married, yeah, she's entitled to the benefit.
Yeah. So Nancy says she found it. So, but in any event,
Dennis wanted the email, so he's got that.
Yeah, Dennis, just be sure to email us. Nancy, I'll follow up on emails for you. If anybody else has questions and you're watching this video after we're off the air, just feel free to email us and we'll get back to you. Our next live is going to be February 21st. We're gonna do one February 21st at 8:00 Eastern. So be sure to join us then. Again, we appreciate everybody on. I appreciate both of you guys coming as always. Love to see your faces. And next month's my birthday month.
So tomorrow.
You have a birthday, not a birthday month.
I get a birthday month.
You don't know Stephanie.
Birthday month.
It's the whole month.
It's the whole month.
Well, that's so funny. I just had my birthday. I didn't even want to celebrate it.
I know. But you know what? It's okay to celebrate your birthday. Why didn't you want to celebrate? Well, we'll talk later. But
Celebrate that wisdom, Jackie.
yes.
You look good for 28, Jackie.
No, it's really hard turning like 32 for like the 10th time. That's all.
10th, girlfriend, try for me. 20 something. And then Blake.
I don't have birthdays. I have anniversaries.
Yeah.
I am Pisces, Dennis. I'm on the cusp.
On the cusp.
All right, guys. Well, we'll talk to everybody later. Again, we appreciate everybody showing up. It was great talking to everyone, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.